Welcome to Pink Caddy Garage. We're going to spend a few minutes today talking about tools. And I don't mean hand tools or power tools. After working on cars for 45 years or so, I've got a good collection of those. But I've been working on cars a lot more this year, and I've run across a few tools that just really make life a lot easier. So let's spend a few minutes talking about those. Now we're going to do several videos on tools in the future, but today we're just going to focus on 5 tools that you can get that are inexpensive. They're under $12. And the first one is going to be a trim and molding toolkit. So you can get these on Amazon or the tool store. The brand doesn't really matter, but as you can see, you've got a variety of tools. And in about 8 months of using this toolkit, I think I've only used these 2. So let's just take one of these out. And as you can see, they're made out of really dense plastic. And they've got different shapes. And we're going to take one of these over to my 2004 Ford Excursion. Let me show you how to use this. So the reason these tools come in so handy is because most modern cars today are built a lot like Snap-on model cars that we used to build when we were kids. And you can use this tool to get in there and get at the fasteners and get the part off that you're after. So we're going to just pull this door sill off right quick. We took this excursion to the beach a little while back, and it's got beach sand all in the cracks and crevices, so you might be able to get that out with a vacuum, but it'd be a lot nicer if you could get it in here and actually take this part off and really do a thorough cleaning. So basically, you just want to get this piece of it, the forked end, and then you're going to want to get on one end and start lifting. And as you lift, you're going to be able to find your fasteners. You can look in there and pop it off as you go. Like so. So basically, almost all of the interior panels on this Excursion are put together with some form of these clips. And they go into little holes there that are made for them, and it holds it tight in place. So with that piece off, you can see that I was really, no matter how well I vacuumed up here, I was never really going to be able to get past this point right here, where there was still a lot of sand, which is abrasive. It's going to wear your carpet, and actually be able to get inside here and clean all this out. So all of these adjoining panels and just about everything inside of this truck is put together like this. And with a tool like this, you're going to be able to get in here if you need to clean, like I say, or get at these wires for one reason or another, or even to run some extra wire for speakers or what have you. And as a side note, you really don't need any tools to reinstall the piece. Much as I hate reinstalling a dirty piece with coffee stains on it, I'll show you. There you go, just like factory. So you can go online and just search for auto trim and molding tool set, and you'll find you can pick up a set of these for around $9 right now. It's well worth it. Let's look at our next tool. Our next tool is going to be a wire wheel kit. Now this one I think I got off of Amazon, and it's just a different assortment of little wire wheels that have a little shank on them that you are going to put into your cordless drill or similar tool. Tighten that up. That's not right. Tighten it up. Yeah. So basically, to use these, you're just going to need your cordless drill and a pair of these. The reason these safety glasses are crucial is because these wire wheels have thousands and thousands of little wires on them, and when you really get working this thing, they will sometimes go flying off. And if they hit you in the eye, your cleaning day will be over, because you'll probably be at the hospital getting that fixed. Don't ask me how I know. The typical way you're going to want to use one of these is for cleaning off old rusty parts or getting something prepped for painting. So I've got an old swing arm here, and as you can see, it's pretty rusty. So you're just going to want to work this in several different directions. To get off the rust and scale. So just about 30 or 40 seconds of wire wheel work just around this shock mount hole here, and you can see this thing's back down to nice metal, and it's ready for paint. So this is really an indispensable tool if you're doing rust repair and things like that on your car. So if you're doing any kind of rust or restoration work, This tool comes in really handy, makes the job go really a lot faster. And I think I picked this up on Amazon for a little over $8. All right, let's move on to our next tool. The next tool we're going to look at is a digital caliper. Now, I don't know how I went my whole life without having a set of digital calipers, but now that I do have it, I use this all the time. Let's take a look at it right quick. Now, if you haven't used one of these before, I'll just run you through it right quick. It's a very simple tool. Got a little power switch here, it's got a little battery inside, and you basically have 3 modes you can switch between. So you've got millimeters, or inches, or fractions of an inch. So I've got a piece of brake line here from off the Cadillac. So you've got 2 ends to this. One's for measuring the outside of an object, and one is for the inside. So if we go out here, you can see that this is 1/4 inch brake line, and if you wanted to measure your inside diameter, you can see it is a 3/16 brake line on the inside. So I use this thing all the time. If I've got a large bolt that I can't look at it and tell, hey, this is a 1/2 inch or 9/16 or whatever, it's not a common size, just put it in here, there you go. It's 1 inch and 3/32. And then one thing I started using this thing on yesterday was I took apart the drive line on the Cadillac. Was this bearing here is for the center support on the drive shaft. So you can measure your bearing thickness, your outside diameter, and then use the other half of it for your inside diameter. So if you can't match up parts, you can usually take it to a bearing shop with those dimensions, and they can match it up for you. So again, I use this thing almost every time I work on the car, it seems like. So as far as digital calipers go, you can pick them up at all the usual places, online or at the tool store. I think I got this one at Harbor Freight for about $10, and it has paid for itself many times over. Let's take a look at our next tool. Our next tool might seem a little obvious, but it is going to be a slimline LED flashlight. If you've been working on cars long, you probably have a collection of work lights. I know we used to have these big old drop lights, even the ones older than this, and every time you dropped them, the bulb did explode, usually next to your face. And then I went to a cordless here, and I've used this for many years, and I like that. But a lot of times there's just nooks and crannies where you can't get in there unless you've got a very small light. Some guys like the light to be on the end. I kind of prefer the light to be on the side. So if you're doing close-in work, like underneath the dash on the 62 Caddy, you're going to want something. A lot of times it can slide right up into a limited access area if you're doing wiring work or trying to figure out where that cable went or your air conditioning ducts. And this little flashlight is just the perfect size to do that. So if you don't already have a slim light like this, I recommend that you get one. I think you'll find it really comes in handy. They're not very expensive. I think this one was about $12, and being LED, that means the batteries last a really long time. So I haven't changed the batteries on this yet, and I've been running it for about 8 months. Let's go to our last tool. The last tool that we're going to look at today is my absolute favorite tool out of everything that we've talked about. And it's not really something most of us would call a tool. Is this big blue blanket. Let's take a look at why I love this so much. Now I know what you're probably thinking. That's just a common moving blanket. And if you're thinking that, you'd be right. But if you've got to get under your vehicle, this is going to be your best friend. First thing I like about this, it's really big. This one measures about 70 by 80 inches. And while I rarely use it all spread out like this, when you fold it up, it makes a nice soft surface to lay on while you're working underneath your car. So when I was 20 years old, I really didn't mind laying on the concrete to work on the car. But I find that the older I get, the less I like it. Let me show you the difference like they do in the TV commercials. This is never gonna work. Wow, this is great. I'm not even holding any tools. Well, as you can tell by that second video, went much better with the blanket. That's why I was smiling. The best news is these are really inexpensive. I think this blanket was about $7.50, and I bought about 7 or 8 of them, so it's nice to have a little bit of inventory on hand. Well, that'll about do it for our first tool video here. Just to let you know, we're not connected with any of these tool companies or the stores that sell them. These are just some things that I found helpful working on my own cars, and hopefully they'll help you too. So if you're not subscribed already, please do so, and come on back for the next video we're going to be doing, which is to look at the next level of tools up. It's tools between about $20 and $100 that I found to be really helpful on a variety of projects. Thanks for watching.